If the planet wants to range environment changing, water supply shortage and contamination, later we all requirement to hug flexitarian diets, say scientists. The tool consuming mostly factory-based foods, and is one of 3 key stairs to a stable next for all in 2050, they tell. Out of activity, the impacts of the meal framework could growth by up to 90%. Quick on the heels of the milestone paper of the Interstate Pain on Environment Changing, IPCC, comes the new research on how meal manufacture and intake affect main threats to the Earth. The authors say how the meal framework has a quantity of considerable ecological impacts consisting creature of main motorist of environment changing, exhausting fresh water and contamination via undue use of N and phosphide. The research says how thanks to the people and revenue increase anticipated among 2010 and 2050, these impacts could increase among 50 to 90%. That could shove our planet for its global boundaries, that the authors say present a secure operational area for humanists on a steady land framework. Yet the research finds how no solitary decision will prevent the dangers, so a combination attitude is necessary. So while it comes to environment changing, the authors looked at which they named a flexitarian dietary. We can eat a band of wholesome diets but which they all include in overall, on to the newest research testimony, is how they are all comparatively factory relying, told conduct writer Dr. Marco Springman of the College of Oxford. Thou can go of a dietary how has little amounts of pet means, several might urge it a Mediterranean relying dietary, we urge it a flexitarian dietary, above to a pescatarian, vegan, or vegetarian dietary. We tested to remain in the largest prudent one of these that in our type is the flexitarian A, but though that has just 1 serving of red flesh per 1 week. If the planet excited to the kind of dietary, the research found how hothouse gas emissions of farming would be diminished by more than rather than part. But as amending diets, the study says how agriculture practices requirement to changing considerably. The involves increase yields of current arable land, increasing water supply control and restrictive and recirculation fertilizer utilize. We looked at increasing agriculture yields in special of more than public health susceptible cereal love harvest, vegetable culture and legumes, told Dr. Springman. In the history down there has been lot of put in the steady harpoon love corn and maize, but now we very requirement to go it to the cereal we requirement more than of. We as well looked at growing the effectiveness of water supply utilize, and we looked at superior tracking and recirculation of fertilizer. Lot of it is loose and it rest off in rivers and causes corpse zones in the oceans. In supplement, the research found how having the sum of meal lose to waste management would bring the ecological impacts of farming by 16%. The key item is how these 3 solutions must be executed along. Feed a planet people of 10 trillion human beings is probable, yet just if we changing the way we take, and the way we make meal, told Johan Rockström, CEO appoint of the Potsdam Institution for Environment Effect Study, who is one of the authors of the research. All measures combination can outcome in compliance wholesome both of earth and human beings. The research has been published in the magazine Environment.